Today is the day. Mark my words. We're finishing these dang roof braces. Right?
Be done with you. Project, you're taking too long.
I don't know if you remember in our last video, we said that we probably weren't gonna get to work on the braces today because we had a sawmill date. We had a date to get rid of all the rest of our logs, freeing up that space over there to do something else with it. Probably plant another failed cover crop. But believe it or not, it was snowing this morning. It was in the forecast, but seeing as the temperatures were in the high 30s, we thought not gonna happen, but it did. And now we just have a rainy, muddy mess everywhere. So even though the snow's gone, I don't think it would have been the best day to fire up the sawmill. In the end, I think that's okay with us because it would feel really good on the mind to get these done. Where we ended last night, this tenon wasn't having it. And it looks like it didn't work it out overnight either, which we were hoping it would. So I think that's what we're gonna start with, or me. Having our friend Justin's help last night was really useful. So between the two of them, we got 2 braces done. And I was gonna say we have 1 to go, but you know what? I think that's actually waste. I think we have all the braces that we need.
And then we're gonna work on getting the bevels on all of the top pieces. Even this one that's already got a bevel, we're gonna have to fix it.
Didn't we want to plane these 2 lovelies?
Yeah, they were rough. So yes, we need to run the planer over that. This one actually needs to be finished. I think we just got all the power tool cuts done last night. So yeah, there's just a lot of little projects that need to be done before we're ready to do final assembly, but we're so close.
What's our motivation today? Hot tubbing?
I'd say that's a good motivator. I actually feel, and I know you feel this too, but we haven't really talked about it, but I feel the pressure of the SIPs coming. Like, they're coming.
I do too. It's the elephant in the room that we haven't really been talking about.
Yeah, we need to talk with our manufacturer on Monday to get an updated delivery date, but I think it's probably within a week and a half. We have a lot to do between now and then, and we feel like we haven't been resting, so we're already kind of getting tired, which is not good. Motivation and energy's been kind of doing this, so we got to find a way to kind of get recuperated, because once the SIPs get here, that's like when the work starts. So the last few nights, we've been just getting really poor battery life. We've been running the generator halfway through the night. As you can see right now, it's a beautiful, beautiful day here in northern Idaho, and our solar output is crap. So we literally plugged our lights into our garage, and about 15 minutes later, our battery bank is obviously getting quite small, but at night we're running basically nothing.
A fan and internet.
Basically nothing, and our batteries are giving us about 6 hours of output. So something is either self-consuming or something's wrong. I just came out here to just feel the batteries to see if we're getting any heat or anything on them. These two are definitely using water. Right now, they're very much whatever it is, off-gassing, bubbling. Everything's pretty active. So I guess I just wanted to come out here and make sure we didn't have a safety hazard. We didn't have something that was about to catch fire or something.
Jesse, I had a dream last night that our property caught fire, but it wasn't this property. It was like a totally different property with a house on it. You know how dreams go.
Everything looks fine, so I'll just leave it as is. I do know that the electrolyte is quite weak in these 2 batteries. At this point, we're just limping the system through until we get connected to the grid. But I just want to make sure nothing was hazardous. It's been on my list for a couple of days to check, and everything's okay.
At this point, I think we're about 2 weeks out on power. In case you need more information about why we're choosing to go on grid after being off grid for 2.5 years, give this video a watch. Lots of great information.
Just for fun, the other day, I was curious if we powered all of these garage lights and we never turned them off for an entire year, we would pay about $35 at the power company's rates. As it stands right now, with all the power tools, the lights, everything we're doing right now, we're probably burning $60 in gas a week. How does that not make me want to go crazy?
Okay, it's time to get some work done because we gotta go hot tubbing later. That's actually really out of square. I'm not sure how that passed.
Yeah, so she's using the square to check the bottom of the mortise, and it looks like it's, I mean, probably over 1/4 of an inch shallow on the top. So when we put the piece together, this is the brace, this is that portion of the mortise she just showed you, and this brace doesn't want to go in. It's obvious that it would easily go in, but there's something very rigid restricting it. And so that mortise is actually shaped like this, not square. So the square edge of the tenon here can't go in because it's bottoming out against that non-square shoulder on the mortise. So Alyssa's gonna knock it out really quick, put a little deepening to it, and I think we're done fitting.
Holy crap, that's so off. That's like a 16th, no, it's like an 1/8. That's looking a lot better, wow.
Little out on the bottom, that's what you want.
Yep.
Just a hair. In she goes. Happy?
Yeah.
So we were working from the other side, and because this all was up against these other brackets, we couldn't see, but it's brutally obvious. It's right here. This shoulder is not at a 45, it's off, which I really struggled with in getting these laid out. So we just need to make this about 1/8 of an inch more. We'll knock that down, and then this should sit flat and everything will be good. Oh, that's better.
Nice work.
Yeah, she's still just a hair tight. I could probably take another 1/16 off of this side and fit a little bit better. I think it's worth doing. We'll take just a tick off of there.
Hot tub's cooking along. She's about 75 degrees and started at 55, so that's about what we figured, 20 degrees an hour. It's sure cold looking outside. Winter's not over yet. Are we still on par to finish tonight?
That's my plan.
There you have it. Don't be fooled, we're not done yet, but this alone is worthy of celebration. Does this angle make my brace look big?
Time out, we have to go get a new tool. And we're back with the Mankita. Hopefully this thing will cut at least 5 inches deep. Oh, we got it made. Oh yeah.
And the hot tub's hot. I think it's like 105 degrees.
now the challenge for us is to cut this bevel, and this is only on 4 of the pieces that go on the eave side, and then on the gable where the peak of the roof is, we're actually going to be creating a full triangle at the top. So we've kind of complicated this task for ourselves because we did not use the full dimension timbers that were given to us in the cut sheets, if you remember that from our earlier video. So we're having to adjust how we're gonna make this cut. And that's why we went to get the Mankita, because we've deduced that the best place for us to make that cut is at the middle of this timber. One, we think it'll make a better visual product. The way it was drawn from shelter was in the middle, but it was the middle of an 8-inch timber. So we're gonna stick to the middle of our 7-inch timber, but we wanted to do some measuring because we were afraid if we did it wrong, we may end up cutting through the deep mortise that's in the back, the 5.5-inch deep mortise. We've done a bunch of measuring and it looks like we'll be clear and good to go. So we're gonna be measuring off here, making a line, and then running the Mankita down to make the cut.
While the cuts on these are the same, I mean, we have our 2 in the middle, the peaks, and then the other 4 cuts are the same, the orientation of these braces on the house is different. So basically we have a left cut and a right cut. And as it is now, all these are flipped upside down. So you really have to use your head to figure out which way to make your cut. But if we lay them down like this, it's actually a little easier to figure it out. These are gonna look so good. Are we gonna do a test cut, or you just wanna go really fast and close your eyes? We decided we're gonna put a guide to run the Mankita along. So basically, we're calculating that right now where the guide needs to be so that our cut is in the right spots.
Yeah, it should make it as simple as trying to keep the Mankita on the guide and cut. Yeah, that one went pretty good. Hard to be perfect.
We only botched 1 up so far, but we have 3 we can botch up.
Well, I think we botched it up because we learned our lesson there, so now I don't think we'll have any issues because I'm not having any issues now, so.
There's our botch up.
Yeah, so that we had a fence set over here, and I was so concerned about staying tight to that fence. We had a screw down here and a screw right here, and so this fence can move. And so out here I was pushing too hard against the fence and the blade started to dive. And it became obvious something was really wrong because I could not make any forward progress. So then I backed out and immediately the blade came out of bind or whatever, and then no problem. But by then the damage was already done, as is classic power tool. You make big mistakes quick.
But ain't no one gonna notice.
We're putting that in the embarrassment corner. This is our first ridge piece, and this is the center piece of the ridge piece. This is the one that goes in the front, so we had to make sure it was our very best work. I'm really happy that the Makita is doing this job. It's doing fine.
Heck yeah, that's
So,
what they're running storage for.
Yeah, I was a little worried about the length of this bevel. So it pays to have the right tools. So it's really frustrating because the way the table is laid, and for those folks who are watching who are freaking out because my saw's on the ground, it's very delicately placed on the ground because it can't sit anywhere else.
Yeah.
With the table at 45, it won't even sit in its little protective thing. So the only place to set it is carefully. Anyway, ergonomically, this saw is just driving you nuts because with it 45, it totally hides your fence. So I can't even see the fence that I'm cutting against. So, I don't know. And then the big blade guard makes it really hard to even get started. What? What? All right, let's rotate this boogster up.
I like big bevels and I cannot lie.
That's a big bevel, yo.
I can't believe in a couple of weeks we'll be able to run power tools like cray cray.
What? It's funny that people were worried that we were running a chainsaw at night and that might disturb the neighbors.
There's our other
But none
generator
of
running out of
those-
gas right now, hear it? So our lights are
Lights
gonna
are about
go
to go out.
out.
I'll finish really quick. But those same people don't seem to care that we live off grid and we have the loudest generator I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm sure our neighbors really care about that. Wait for it. Anyway, so I guess we'll go fuel the generator up.
There goes $30.
Yeah, this whole hand is gasified.
We call that off-grid cologne.
Ready to finish?
Let's do this.
Okay,
Enough interruptions.
how do we do?
It's pretty dang good. I'd say we were off by maybe a degree.
We didn't let you guys down. We did finish everything from here on out. It's just making it look even better, polishing it up.
Yeah,
Which I think we'll have to do over the next few days because I think we have a sawmill project happening tomorrow.
maybe, yeah, weather dictates a lot. Today our plans didn't go as planned. So yeah, we've got to finish planing everything. We've got some just little differences in dimensions that need to be tidied up. And then we need to peg everything.
And then oiling.
Oh yeah, and then oiling. 2 coats of oil.
So I think that's it. I think it's time to hot tub.
Hot tub
Shower and
30.
hot tub.
Hot tub 30.